Hello, this is Brennan and welcome to Musings of the Mind. Today we're going to be talking about compounding and compound interest in your life and in your personal development. Now, I've talked about consistency a lot in the past, but consistency is there's a whole lot of things. Consistency is more of an ethereal thing. We're going to be talking about the actual material nature of what happens if you stick to it. Now, to illustrate this, I'm going to tell the story of Dashrath Manjhi. I have a lot of respect for that man. And he really illustrates the points I'm trying to make here. His story does. Now, what happened? Well, Dashrath Manjhi grew up. He grew up in a rural village in India, and he got married, and him and his family lived in this very rural village that was far away and wasn't well connected. So it was very hard to get to the big cities and back to the village. And one day his wife was out climbing, trying to get some water, if I remember correctly, and she tripped and fell, and in the end died. However, they were able to save her newborn child. Now, what Dashrath did in response to this is he sold all his assets and he took on the mountain. So he took a hammer and he took a chisel and he spent all day every day for about 20 years hacking away at that mountain. Hacking away at a mountain. The mountain that separated his village from connection to the rest of civilization. Easy connection. So by knocking down that mountain to which his wife died on, he was able to, bit by bit, knock down the mountain and connect. And today, his village is connected to the rest of civilization in a much more efficient manner. And he did this so that the tragedy that befell his wife would not befall anyone else. Now, it's an amazing story. I would recommend reading about it. But what this really illustrates is this motherfucker, grabbed a hammer and a chisel and hacked away at a mountain till he beat it. And if he can do that, then you can start a business. You can achieve your goals in life. If you want to become a bit more fit, if you want to make some money, if you want to get some discipline, it's easy. What you need to understand is there's momentum. I've talked about this in the past. You have negative momentum, and you're not going to be able to make all the changes in one go. What you need to do is make a realistic plan, set realistic expectations, and execute on them. Now, you're going to backslide, realistically. Some people don't, but most people backslide. But if you keep at it, you keep hacking away at the problem, you will get to where you want to be much quicker than you think. And, not much. And this goes to another point. Sorry, I gotta make a detour. Fuck your timeline. And you can achieve goals that you don't think are even possible. But you need to say fuck you to the timeline. You need to come up with a system, a blueprint, and a strategy to get where you want to be and execute on it bit by bit. Fuck your timeline. And just fuck it. Don't set a distinct timeline here. Just execute on the strategy. I have plenty of videos about this before, and the compound interest will build. A good example of this is language learning, actually. I talked about this in I think the previous episode. You really can't bullshit with language learning. You either put in the effort to learn the vocabulary and learn the grammar. Now, there are strategies to learn languages. Some are better than others. But you can't not put in the work and then bullshit yourself about it. No. You either put in the work or you don't, and it's clearly apparent. And I would suggest everyone learn another language if you haven't. What learning another language does is it really makes you have to execute things like, okay, today I'm going to learn the months. Today I'm going to learn the seasons, the months, the days of the year. So then you do that, You create the flashcards, you go through it, you get it down, you wake up next morning, you forget it, you do it again, and it's going to take you a bit, but once you have the names of the seasons down, then you go to household items, you do all this stuff, you go through basic introductions, you build slowly, bit by bit, and then one day, you'll be able to speak the language. Fuck your timeline. I actually remember this when I was learning German. And we went through introductions. I didn't get it. We went through introductions. We went through household objects. We did this. And one day, in class, I was just able to suddenly speak the language. All that compound interest paid off in the end, and suddenly I gained the ability to speak another language. And that was a very rewarding experience for me. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Compounding. This is very important. Put in the work to be where you need to be. Don't make any excuses. Make a strategy. Execute on that strategy. Fuck the timeline. Just focus on putting the work in, and you will achieve what you want to achieve. Eve, having said that, I think this concludes the episode. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.